The footage you are about to watch may be disturbing. This video has been shared solely for awareness purposes. In India, the 12,607 Chennai-Bengaluru Lalbagh Express, traveling at a speed of 110 kilometers per hour, collided with a cow that unexpectedly appeared on the railway tracks. This incident highlights the potential dangers caused by train accidents. Animals freely roaming on railway tracks pose significant safety risks, especially on high-speed train routes. Such accidents can result in train derailments, endanger passenger safety, cause major disruptions in train traffic, and damage railway infrastructure. In this scene, we witness an ordinary train journey through a rural region of India. As the powerful engine of the passenger train speeds along the tracks, the surrounding wildlife peacefully continues its daily routine. However, everything suddenly changes. Near the tracks where the train is rapidly approaching, an unnoticed danger emerges. A cow slowly moving toward the rails. This common occurrence in India is a tragic consequence of the close interaction between railways and animals. The train driver blows the horn for a long time, attempting to prevent a collision. However, the animal continues moving instead of stepping away from the tracks, and the inevitable happens. The cow receives a fatal impact and is violently thrown to the ground. A herd of cattle moves along the roadside when suddenly a cow steps into the wrong lane. The approaching driver brakes, but a collision becomes inevitable. The impact causes the cow to be thrown aside while the vehicle sustains damage. Such incidents highlight the dangers of uncontrolled animal crossings, especially in rural areas. Warning signs and protective fencing are crucial for safer roads.
Shit!
In the darkness of the night, a heavy-duty cargo truck travels along a quiet forest road. Its headlights illuminate the path ahead, while the surrounding nature remains silent. Yet, this peaceful scene suddenly changes. A herd of deer emerges in the middle of the road. The truck driver, struggling with the immense load, slams on the brakes. However, due to the vehicle's massive weight and momentum, the braking distance extends, leading to an unavoidable tragedy. The deer are struck and thrown aside by the sheer force of the truck. A bright winter morning, a passenger train moves silently along snow-covered tracks. The sunlight reflects off the white landscape while the powerful engine echoes through the rails. The peaceful serenity of nature is suddenly interrupted by a herd of deer appearing on the tracks. The deer, unaware of the approaching train, have stopped in the middle of the rails. The train conductor hits the emergency brakes, but the long braking distance and slippery surface make it impossible to stop in time. The collision becomes inevitable, and the sheer force of the train leaves the animals no chance to escape. A quiet rural morning. The railway tracks stretch into the distance, glistening under the morning sun. The tranquility of nature is broken by the approaching sound of a passenger train's powerful engine. Near the tracks, a cow appears, slowly attempting to cross to the other side. As the train draws closer, its sharp horn pierces the air. The cow hesitates, noticing the sound. Just as it attempts to take its final step, the speeding train strikes. The immense force and speed send the cow flying, marking a tragic collision between nature and human-made machinery. A scorching summer day. The sun blazes down, overwhelming the landscape with its intense heat. A flock of sheep, guided by shepherd dogs, slowly makes its way across the railway tracks. The heat is so oppressive that every living creature seems affected by its relentless force. In the middle of the flock, a sheep, exhausted from the heat, trudges forward with heavy steps along the tracks. From a distance, the powerful sound of an approaching passenger train grows louder. The conductor, noticing the sheep, blasts the horn in a desperate attempt to prevent a collision. Yet the weary animal cannot quicken its pace. The shepherd dogs, standing at the edge of the tracks, fall silent, watching helplessly as the inevitable unfolds. And then, happens. The massive steel machine collides with the defenseless sheep. The sheer force of impact shatters the animal, as nature once again pays a tragic price against the unstoppable power of human-made machinery. A crowded train station. People are crossing the railway tracks in a hurry, each rushing to their destinations. Steps are quick, minds are busy. Yet, among this crowd, one person remains unaware of the danger approaching. An elderly man. Walking slowly, he fails to notice the sharp sound of the approaching train's horn, nor does he see the massive steel machine closing in on him. Lost in the flow of the crowd, he unknowingly lingers on the tracks. The train conductor applies the brakes, but the sheer weight of the massive locomotive makes stopping impossible in time. By the moment the train reaches him, it's already too late. The impact throws the man aside as silence falls over the tracks. This tragic event serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of caution and railway safety in crowded areas, where the unstoppable force of machines meets the vulnerability of human life. A vehicle attempted to cross the road but forgot to account for the trailer behind it. The trailer got stuck on the railway tracks, leaving the car stranded. Time was running out. The driver had to abandon the vehicle immediately, but the train was only meters away. The inevitable happened. The massive train collided with the vehicle at full speed, shattering it into pieces. On the tracks, a dramatic clash between nature and machinery unfolded. A dog stands motionless on the tracks, unaware of the massive steel giant closing in. The sharp sound of the train's horn pierces the air, but time is running out. Just as the dog is about to leave the tracks, the train, unable to stop due to speed and distance, strikes. The collision becomes inevitable. A seemingly ordinary day at a train station. A truck attempts to cross the railway when the barriers suddenly close, trapping the trailer between the truck and the barrier. Time is running out as the driver struggles to react. In the distance, the powerful sound of an approaching train grows louder. Another truck driver, sensing the danger, begins reversing, predicting the inevitable. But for the trapped truck driver, it's already too late. The inevitable happens. The massive train crashes into the truck at full speed, shattering it completely. This tragic event serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of caution and safety measures at railway crossings. A calm day. The railway crossing lights turned red and the barriers were down. Everything was as it should be. But an impatient driver, ignoring both the closed barriers and the blaring train horn, decided to cross the tracks anyway. Unfortunately, luck was not on his side this time. The massive train, weighing tons, struck the vehicle with full force, causing severe damage. This tragic moment serves as a harsh reminder of the consequences of impatience and recklessness at railway crossings.
Wi-Fi is connected.
Miami County Police and Fire, what's the address for your emergency?
Evening falls. A shepherd returning home with his cattle after grazing begins to cross the railway tracks. The fatigue of the day clouds his awareness. Despite the distant sound of the approaching train's horn, neither the shepherd nor the cattle seem to notice. The inevitable strikes. The massive, speeding train collides with the shepherd and his cattle, forcefully throwing them aside. This tragic event serves as a stark reminder of the critical importance of awareness and caution at railway crossings. This young man was about to take his final selfie, unaware it would be his last, and then the massive train struck with deadly force. A moment of distraction ended in a tragic fate. A dog sleeps peacefully on the railway tracks. Suddenly, the sharp sound of the train's horn breaks the quiet. The dog realizes the danger but has no time to escape. And then, the speeding train strikes, leaving behind a tragic silence. A woman attempts to cross the tracks without checking her surroundings. Electric trains are quieter than diesel trains, making them even more dangerous. Tragically, unaware of the approaching train, she is struck and killed. A donkey stands still on the railway tracks, ignoring the loud horns of the approaching train. Unaware of the danger, the animal remains in place. The massive train strikes with full force, sending the donkey flying through the air. Of course, animals cannot comprehend warning signals and sounds. Therefore, railway tracks should be properly fenced to prevent animals from entering these dangerous areas. The train conductor notices the buffalo standing on the tracks, but chooses not to slow down. Upon reviewing the footage, it appears there was enough time for early braking. Sadly, this negligence results in a tragic collision. A lamb, startled by the deafening sound of an approaching train, panics and begins running in the same direction as the train. Overwhelmed by fear and panic, it suddenly freezes in place. Without realizing it, the lamb makes the right decision. By staying still until the train comes to a complete stop, it saves its own life. This moment shows that sometimes instincts can make the best choices. A scenario no one wants to face during a train journey. Another train approaching head-on at full speed. In this video, the conductors were fortunate as they had stopped at a crossing. Upon spotting the approaching train, they jumped off and escaped just in time. However, the conductor recording the footage wasn't so lucky. The collision was inevitable. In this train accident, a single railway track splits into two at the switch ahead. However, the opposing train, which should have remained in a safe zone, is stopped right at the switch. For the approaching train, a collision becomes inevitable, resulting in a tragic accident. In this accident, an unbelievable crash occurs inside the station. Two trains on the same track collide at high speed. Shaken by the impact, passengers panic and jump out of the carriages, scrambling to escape the station. A truck driver, unaware of the approaching train, attempts to cross the tracks carelessly. The speeding freight train crashes into the truck with immense force, shattering it into pieces. The train's wagons derail, scattering debris across the area, turning the station into a scene of devastation.
on the tracks near San Antonio, Texas, obliterated a cat wheel loader to a woman in Iowa.
A construction vehicle stands motionless on the railway tracks. Silence fills the air, but the distant sound of an approaching train grows louder. The massive steel giant, weighing tons, speeds towards the stationary machine. The brakes are applied, yet the distance is too short to stop in time. The inevitable happens. The train crashes into the construction vehicle with full force, shattering it completely on impact.
The driver tried desperately to move the truck, but it wouldn't budge. He would have made it if not.
വണ്ടിക്ക് വിടുവോ?